Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. Today we are talking about Spoon Island, the island which houses Wyndemere. So we're using the travel guide to Port Charles, which is written, quote, written by Lucy Coe. And it simply starts off saying that Shakespeare once wrote, "Marry he must a long spoon that must eat with the devil." And then there's a footnote that says, yes, I know, Shakespeare. I was a librarian at one time. And we just talked about that.
Yes.
You can read a lot into that quote, and it perfectly describes our next exotic locale, Spoon Island. Spoon Island was bought from the city of Port Charles in 1882. The fabulously rich Washington Wyndham, founder of Wyndham's department store, is who bought it.
I love that. I still love that.
It was on the island that he built his dream home, the estate of Wyndemere. And then it says, editor's note, no address needed beyond Wyndemere Spoon Island. A helpful hint, best to leave Windemere's inhabitants off your greeting card list. USPS refuses to set foot on the island, so they don't get mail.
Oh my.
The historical records tell us that many residents and folklorists warned Wash, short for Washington, not to buy the island, as legend long had it that it was an unlucky place. And then another footnote says, like Gaspard Charles before him. Who's Gaspard Charles?
I have no
Port
idea.
Charles.
Yeah.
Maybe he's, okay. Like Gaspard Charles before him, Wyndham failed to heed warnings that all those who attempted to settle on the island were jinxed. Despite the warnings, or perhaps because of them, Wyndham went ahead and built his dream home. Windemere's conveniences were practically unheard of at the time of its construction. These novel structural elements included steam and forced air heating, indoor plumbing. Yeah, in 1882, that was not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a little bit because in 1883, Tim McGraw booked a hotel when they were getting ready to leave that had an indoor bath, and Faith Hill was very happy about that.
Okay.
It was push-button gas lights and a shower in Mr. Wyndham's suite that also featured self-heating water. The constant construction and lack of a master building plan resulted, however, in a large and disjointed house, which soon became the talk of Port Charles. Newspaper accounts of the time noted that serving staff needed a map to navigate their way through each room of the manor. And then, excerpted from the recovered diary of Maria Gunderson, an original servant at Wyndemere. The house has doors that open into walls, a staircase that leads nowhere, and everything is in groups of 13. Saints preserve me. As Wyndham aged into his dotage, he became convinced that the house was haunted by the former inhabitants of the island, who were trying to drive him away and retake their ancestral home. Wyndham decided that the house should have only one working bathroom for himself, and that all other restrooms were to be made decoys to confuse the spirits. I don't think ghosts go to the bathroom.
I don't think so either.
Okay. He also attempted to hide from an angry ghost by sleeping in a different bedroom each night. It seemed he couldn't outlast what haunted him for so long, as Washington Wyndham was found dead on the eve of his 66th birthday. His butler, Jackson Ward, found him sprawled in the entranceway, clutching 2 candlesticks and the deed to the house, trying to appease a visitor from the hereafter, perhaps? After Wyndham's death, the house fell into disrepair, and the island and the estate went largely uninhabited, though for a time it was owned and lived in by Iona Huntington. Iona Huntington was a talented counterfeiter and also the aunt of famed pianist and former flame of Robert Scorpio, Catherine Delafield. Iona briefly returned to Wyndemere to collect counterfeiting machines she secretly stashed away there. And we spoke more about her when we talked about Wyndemere Castle, because she lived there, so...
How back then did you get counterfeiting machines onto the island?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering. I assume
don't
that they're
know.
kind of large and you only have like a regular boat to get it there. So, I just like to ask questions. So Ned Ashton, why are we explaining Ned Ashton? Editor note, Ashton, who has since taken his mother's maiden name, was elected mayor in 2018.
Okay.
I don't know that needed to be noted, but anyway, Ned Ashton failed to learn from the mistakes of Charles or Wyndham and purchased the island and Wyndemere as a present for his fiancée, Dawn Winthrop. But their happiness was short-lived, their engagement was called off, and the relationship soon imploded when Dawn realized Ned had previously, while working as a country club tennis pro,
I know where this is going.
had an affair with her mother, Monica. Although it's my understanding the affair was over and done with before Ned got together with Dawn, so I don't see what her problem was, aside from the general shiver-inducing knowledge that your fiancé slept with your mother. Okay, I guess that's a problem enough.
Oh, Lucy.
Lucy? Yes.
She has boundaries.
Yes, come on, Lucy. So Dawn was later murdered, and Ned endured 2 horrendous marriages, so you'd think that people might have gotten the idea to stay off Spoon Island.
Oh, they weren't referring to his... Because then he married Catherine Bell, which was a horrendous marriage.
Yes.
But they're not referring to Lois as a horrendous marriage, are
I
they?
would hope not. She doesn't specify. She just says endured 2 horrendous marriages.
He messed up with Lois.
He did. But Cesar Faison...
I don't think he's home.
Oh, darn. I was waiting for him to run down the stairs. Just had to have it. As referenced elsewhere, Faison was horny for lumina crystals and believed he might find some on the island. What?
We're really going to have to... I had no idea this whole Casey the Alien thing was so in-depth.
I didn't either, but wow. Maybe if he'd just rented a cottage on the mainland, he'd have turned out okay. But it wasn't too long after his stay on Wyndemere that he was presumed dead in a missile strike. A few years later, still more settlers showed up on Spoon Island, specifically Stefan and Prince Nicholas Cassadine. It is understood from political machinations over the years that the Cassadine title of prince passes from eldest son to eldest son. If a Cassadine prince dies without a male heir, the title dies with him and the fortune he controlled is scattered among the surviving family members.
So Spencer is now prince.
Yeah. Well, Ace is now prince.
But... Oh, yes. No, Spencer's the firstborn. So Spencer's prince.
Oh, okay, yes. Yes. Sorry, I keep thinking that I know Ace isn't Spencer's, but that's what I was thinking was a new one coming along. For a time, it seemed that Spoon Island's luck might be changing, and then Stefan went and accidentally shot Catherine Bell. Lucy's note, the editor insisted I word it like that, but I only agreed to it on the condition I got this footnote. As far as I'm concerned, Catherine's shooting was proof that Spoon Island was finally doing the people of Port Charles some good.
What? Lucy?
Wow. Incredibly, Stefan and Catherine got over this and threw a traditional Bacchanalia ball. Editor's note, the Bacchanalia ball is based in Russian tradition and is a masquerade ball thrown in honor of a Cassadine's engagement. And it says a traditional Bacchanal ball to announce their engagement. But the bad juju soon reasserted itself when Catherine fell from a parapet to her death at her very own party. Ironically, Stefan himself later died of a fall there too. After Stefan's demise, his nephew Nicholas realized his family was deeply in debt. And says Luke S., didn't Stefan know how much overhead comes with the operation of secret labs, carbonic snow, and Lazarus pits?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Luke.
I like that she's quoting Luke, like, hey.
Luke S. Like that.
Right. I wonder who that is.
I don't know.
Nicholas's Aunt Alexis Davis convinced him that selling Wyndemere was the only thing to be done, but Nicholas's true love, Emily Quartermain, rode to the rescue, finally answering this age-old question. What do you get the prince who has everything? Emily bought back the house and re-gifted it to Nicholas for Christmas. And then it says, Lucy's note, if only she'd read her Port Charles history.
Oh, the irony, though, that Emily bought it for him and saved it, and now it's Ava's.
Yep.
Okay.
To try to erase the memories of all the death and destruction, Nicholas offered to host Lucky and Elizabeth's long overdue wedding. But as Washington Wyndham came to learn, the spirit of the island did not believe that happiness had a right to exist on stolen land. Right after the ceremony, the groom and several of the wedding party were injured in a train crash, putting a damper on the festivities. Ignoring all these premonitions of doom, Nicholas threw caution to the wind and threw a ball to celebrate his engagement to Emily Quartermain. But the same wind blew, and it stranded everyone on the island with creepy Anthony Zaccara. Daddy Z attacked several guests and killed a groundskeeper, all while staying hidden in the shadows. And then Lucy's note was not hard to do in a place teeming with secret passages and easy access to catacombs.
If Zacara's dastardly deeds weren't cause enough for misery, there was still one murder to go. Nicholas's bride-to-be, Emily, was strangled in the house by the text message killer Diego Alcazar. Finally realizing that Wyndemere might not be the best place to raise his son, and this was Spencer, was born as the result of an affair that Nicholas had with Sonny Corinthos' half-sister Courtney Matthews. Nicholas moved off the island. During the next few years, the island's spirits attracted an array of no-goodniks like Mother of the Year, Helena Cassadine, who there murdered her own daughter Irina and Caleb Morley. And then Lucy says, or was it rock star Stephen Clay? Who suffered under the delusion that he was a vampire. Bobby Spencer asked, are you going to tell them, Lucy, or shall I? Okay, there's a lot of back and forth here. Okay, are you going to ask them, Lucy, or should I? Yes, and that was Lucy answering, yes, fine, okay, Bobby. There was once a very short, teeny-weeny sliver of time when I, too, thought Caleb was a vampire. And then it says, a vampire? Presses Bobby S. And? But Caleb... And then after Caleb, it says, I might have also once thought that a few other people were vampires too, but I don't think those things anymore. Was defeated. But Caleb was defeated. And Bobby said, the happy pills help with that, don't they? When I single-handedly...
Oh, okay, Lucy.
Editor's note. While Ms. Coe was an integral part of the rescue mission, the now-deceased teen Rafe Kovich, son of Allison Barrington and Landview Police transplant John McBain, might have played a role in that as well.
Yes.
Just a bit. So to finish her sentence, though, but Caleb was defeated when I single-handedly rescued Sam and her little boy. Proving that you can't keep a prince away from his haunted castle, Nicholas and his son Spencer moved back to Wyndemere in 2013. The lessons of the past had yet to be learned. Nicholas agreed to host his mother Laura's wedding to Scott Baldwin.
Why would Laura have even said yes to that? After all the Cassadines did to her. Sure, I'd love to get married in their spooky old castle.
Later, international bad guy Jerry Jacks employed blackmail to force Nicholas to play landlord to Robin Scorpio Drake, Britt Westbourne, Cesar Faison, and Liesl Obrecht, all at the same time. Editor's note, word is Disney has optioned this tale as a structure for an Odd Couple reboot, starring Tiffany Hill as Obrecht. Aw. I love these footnotes. Okay. Despite all the odds and a fire that temporarily scarred Spencer's face,
yep,
that should get mentioned sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer says, although I was upset that my cousin, Cameron Weber, disfigured me, I have decided my scar is the mark of a romantic hero. When the time comes to return to Port Charles, I'll have Emma Scorpio Drake eating out of the palm of my hand.
Thank you for saying Emma instead of Joss.
And Cameron will be polishing my riding boots.
Yep.
And at this time, this is when Nicholas Bechtel was Spencer, so he was very elitist?
Yes.
Okay. The house and island entered into a time of seeming peace. Nicholas's mother, Laura, moved in, Nicholas married Hayden Barnes, was the curse lifted? Were spirits appeased? Ha! Nothing appeases a spirit. They're dead. And stuck in the land of the living, doomed never to ascend to the next plane. They're pissed for all eternity. Proving that evil is genetic, the brooding Valentine Cassadine reared his closely coiffed head and extorted Nicholas into signing over the entire Cassadine estate. Not content with swindling all of his nephew's earthly possessions, Valentine shot Nicholas on Cassadine Island. Okay, this is Cassadine Island. He shot him on Spoon Island, right?
Yeah.
Or were they in Greece?
No, I thought it was Spoon Island.
I thought it was too. I thought they were all locked in that room at Wyndemere, right?
Yeah.
And he shot him
Through the window, yeah. He, fell out the window.
Huh. The tragic prince stumbled off his balcony and fell to his death. Editor's note, Ava Jerome witnessed Nicholas's fall, but his body never turned up, so for all we know, he'll be back in town
Oh, how about that?
by next Founder's Day. Currently, Valentine and his daughter Charlotte control the vast bulk of the Cassadine Empire, as well as Spoon Island. Want to know more? The Museum of Mayhem offers guided boat cruises around the island every summer, Saturday and Sunday at 11 a.m. Tours depart from Pier 23.
Oh, no.
However, General Hospital fandom... Well, that's the tours. The launch is Pier 55. So the tours are Pier 23 and are just $49.95. They come with a boxed lunch from Kelly's. And that is Spoon Island. I love
her
story.
Footnotes, yes.
Huh. This book is so fun.
It is.
So I guess that really wraps up Spoon Island, right?
I mean, I can't think of anything else. Why don't they have a pool? And all they're renovating, wouldn't you put a pool in somewhere?
Yeah.
They have to have the land for it. I mean, I guess they can just go swim.
Yeah.
But no, I want a swimming pool. I don't want a chance hitting up against those rocks.
All right, so I think that fully wraps up all of Ava's new possessions.
Yes.
Well, at least on Spoon Island. I'm not sure how Cassadine Island in Greece works.
I hope someone tells her how
that is different,
haunted.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
How haunted Spoon Island is, and that maybe she doesn't want to stay there.
That would be such an awesome thing for them to do for the 60th anniversary, would be to have Ava haunted by the
people that lived there before and were killed.
Yes.
That would be fun. Shannon got very excited.
That would be so cool. I know that you're doing the nurses' ball, but seriously, could you do this at some point in the next 2 months? Because by the time the writers listen to this and go, oh my gosh, Shannon, so smart. Yep. It's already have been recorded. So, I love it.
That would be fun.
I love it. Okay.
And then she could get the ultimate revenge on Nicholas by selling it. Boom. Done.
I don't know if she'd go that far. If she should go that far. But I love that. Okay. So join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows that just might include Ava being haunted by the previous tenants.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Washington. How are you today? Anyway, have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.